The best Google ad strategy for 2026 doesn't revolve around picking the best campaign structure. And I know it's hard to believe because every other video on this topic argues over the exact same thing. PMAX or standard shopping, how to split your budget, when to graduate from one structure to the next. But they're all arguing about the wrong thing. I've audited over 100 accounts this year alone, and I've watched them try every structure that Google has, every combination, every rebuild, and they continue to stay stuck at the exact same ceiling. And here's why. Your products are invisible to the people that search for them. Not just some of those people, most of them. And the cruel part for you is that your dashboard looks completely fine when it's happening. Revenue's okay, ROAS might be pretty high, so nothing looks broken. You just quietly never show up for the demand that you can't see. And no campaign structure on earth is going to fix that. What fixes it is the process that I am going to build with you live over the next few minutes. And it's a process you can run on every single product that you sell. And by the end, I guarantee that you will have a fix far more effective than any new campaign structure you've seen on YouTube, on LinkedIn, or X. Now, here's what almost nobody tells you about Google Shopping. You do not choose your keywords. On the search network, you tell Google exactly the terms you want to bid on, but on shopping, you don't. There's no keyword field, no match type. So how does Google decide which customers to place your ads in front of? Well, it does it by reading your product title. Your product title is the single biggest attribute Google uses to decide which auctions to place your products inside of. So your title isn't a label, it's actually your targeting. And every word inside it tells Google who gets to see you and who doesn't. And here's why it goes wrong for almost every single brand that I look at. You just run the default Shopify product titles. Let's say it's a hydration brand, an electrolyte brand here, and it's brand name, hydration, flavor being lemon, 30 sticks. This is pretty clean, it's tidy, but it's matching a tiny fraction of the searches available to you because nobody types your product name into Google. Only the handful of people that maybe found you on Meta, but they type things like electrolyte powder or sugar-free hydration tablets or electrolytes for a keto-friendly diet. And if these aren't terms in your product title, then as far as Google is concerned, you don't sell that product. So you're not actually losing to your competitor's better structure. You're not entering the auction in the first place. And this problem stays invisible for you because your dashboard only shows the metrics from the auctions you did enter and never the ocean of ones you didn't. So here's the process. For every product you sell, you build what I call a discovery web, and you put the product in the middle. Every strand coming off it is a real different way a buyer searches for the exact product. Not your words, their words. And done right, it becomes a spider's web. The product sits in the center, and the strands reach out to catch demand that's already flying past every single day. But almost every brand's web is tiny. One or two strands all in their own language. The demand isn't missing. It's that you only have these one or two bottom of funnel strands. So the whole strategy is spinning that web wider. More strands, more real searches your product is eligible for, more of the right people seeing it. And that is how you grow on Google. Not by rebuilding your campaigns for the 5th time, but by making each product visible to the demand it was previously invisible to. So let's stick with the electrolyte powder here. Here's obviously the before, so the brand name, which is Lit. So it'll be Lit Hydration Lemon 30 sticks. So the web it's catching right now obviously is the brand name, so Lit Hydration, and let's say maybe Lemon Hydration as well if we're lucky. Now, will a lot of people be searching for lemon hydration? Probably not. But for a product category with multiple tens of thousands of people searching every single month, to only be capturing these types of queries is leaving so much demand on the table. And that's what the vast majority of brands are doing. Let's say we want to expand out further. and see what other terms we're either serving for or maybe converting on. We can just go to our search term report in any of our campaigns on Google Ads. We can alternatively look at Google Keyword Planner, and we can look at our conversion data to look for search terms here that obviously I've hidden for client privacy reasons that convert really well. So let's say we find terms we convert on, or terms we know people are searching and our product actually falls into that category. So chances are we're going to be selling high salt electrolytes. So that's fine. Sugar free, let's say our electrolytes are sugar free. Let's say they come in powder version. Zero sugar again is basically the same thing, but it's a different way of saying it. Keto friendly, again, if it's sugar free, it's probably keto friendly. Electrolytes for running, well, there's no clear distinction as to why an electrolyte would be good for running as opposed to another sport, but it's certainly something we could go after. And then maybe electrolytes for hangover as well. There are 7 different strands coming off this product now, each tapping into a really high volume search query. So what can we do? Well, if I zoom out to our web, what I actually do is change the product title to reflect the query it is we're trying to target. Now, there are ways that you have to do this correctly, that you don't get your products banned on Google Merchant Center. I've made other videos about that. Or alternatively, if you are a brand that has a number of SKUs, well, then your variants, let's say, you can test different angles with. So let's say you sell different flavors, or let's say you sell bundles, or let's say you sell different sizes. This is a great method for you. So if you're a multi-product store or a multi-variant store. So here we have high sodium electrolyte powder, high salt mix. So you can see we're really leaning on the salt, the sodium. This will really resonate with people who are searching for high salt electrolytes. But in the first place, it's going to be put in front of them because Google is indexing our product and it goes, well, okay, this is a high salt electrolyte. If someone's searching high salt electrolytes, well, we gotta put this ad in front of them. What about the next one? Sugar-free electrolyte. You could see there's a very quick trend starting to appear here. Zero sugar hydration mix. We are stuffing our keywords in the title. It's still natural. We're not putting them in for keyword sake. But what we're doing is giving Google more information about our product that allows it to match to this very specific query. Same over here, leading with electrolyte powder, same as our search query, zero sugar hydration drink, keto electrolyte powder, electrolytes for running. And here's the thing, this is only the start. Maybe we could have a product image here that clearly showed someone using it while running. This is really just a beginning for you. The most important thing to take away from this video and this strategy and why it works so well is that we're putting it in front of a wider audience. So we can be expanding the audience that we serve our shopping ads to. The second part of this then is, okay, once we serve to a broader qualified audience, how then can we increase our click-through rate? And obviously we're looking at things like our offers, pricing, our product images, etc., etc. But you can see here, electrolytes for hangover. Perhaps we might be able to go and use hangover in our product title, or we want to be a bit more conservative, even for recovery, rehydration drink. These are going to help us lend towards those queries in relation to a hangover as well. So now we've gone from this really small web, this very narrow catchment of brand terms or very specific product terms, out to probably what's going to be, I would estimate 150,000 monthly searches just across these alone, probably in truth even more, all because of this one hack. Now, before you tell me this just works for, say, supplements, this doesn't just work for supplements. You can look at CPG, say a coffee brand here. You'll have someone searching for espresso machine coffee, maybe a nutty flavor, smooth. So this is texture, this is flavor, this is function. These are all different angles we can use on the same product. What about apparel? Well, this is a jacket, a green jacket or an olive jacket. So we can obviously focus on something maybe like lightweight ladies jacket. That's going to be one. Windbreaker. So windbreaker means the same thing, really. It's slightly more specific, but if it is a windbreaker, why not create a variant in a different size that hones in on that language? Green jacket for travel. Maybe this is a very light jacket. It's great for traveling in the autumn or something like that. Next one, skincare. Again, so vitamin C serum for dark spots, serum for sensitive skin, natural serum. So there are 3 different angles we could have here instead of just having what is brand name, brand. And again, you're going to have your brand name in the card itself anyway. So there's no point in adding it twice or 3 times. So what we're doing here right, is we are creating this discovery web. There are more ways for people to find us. And I can guarantee you that Google Shopping will be one of the most efficient ways to convert traffic in your product category. More efficient than Meta, more efficient than Google Search, more efficient than YouTube. It is the best vehicle, in my opinion, to scale an e-commerce brand. But you have to go to these depths. You have to get this intricate with your targeting to actually do it successfully or to do it to any great degree. So the best Google Ads strategy in 2026 does not come down to finding the best structure, because look at it like this. The best structure, or changing your structure, is like painting a car a different color. If the underlying engine, the inputs of the car remain constant, remain the same, the car will not drive any better or any quicker. You have to change the inputs, the engine of the car, the feed itself, if you want the car to go faster or further. Right now, your products are invisible to the vast majority of demand that exists out there every single day. But if you can fix one product at a time and build the web piece by piece, this is how you can go from a brand that doesn't use Google to grow to one that has a completely new customer acquisition vehicle that sits alongside Meta. Now, if you would like my team and I to carry out a deep audit of your account to see what demand you're missing that you're invisible to, well, there's a link in the description to book a free strategy call with me today. Not only will we look at your feed, we'll look at all of the other inputs within your account that are making you invisible to demand that exists out there or demand that you can create with your account. So fill out a series of very short questions to see if we can help you. And once you've done that and booked your call, go watch this next video where I show you our exact blueprint to scaling into cold traffic with Google Ads, allowing you to hunt for new demand, not just harvest the demand that Meta creates for you.